wanted to make a quick video. I don't know how many departments and how many individuals are having issues with their Ford Explorers and Ford Police Interceptor utilities and that. But I'm currently underneath a 2020 Ford Explorer. Well, it's not a Ford Explorer, it's a Police Interceptor utility. But we've got 3 of them and with our department, and these things are, let me tell you, I'm not impressed. This particular car, try not to blind everybody, anybody that's going to watch this, blind everybody with my light, but this car has 15,000 miles on it, okay? It is a 3-liter twin turbo EcoBoost, whatever you want to call it, but all-wheel drive. This is the only one that has the twin turbos in it that we have. The other ones we have are 3.3 liters, just naturally aspirated. But we've had issues with all of them. This car, for instance, I'll flip the camera and show you a couple things. Try to get out of the light. Yeah, it's not gonna work. But anyways, at any rate, both outside CV shaft boots are blown out. See all the grease all over the strut, lower control arm, both sides. I'll try to get over here and kind of see that one there. That's not a huge deal. I mean, you shouldn't do that at 15,000 miles, but the next issue I've got is, if you can see how wet the transmission pan is, and then this mount transfer case, you can see, is all oily. There's actually oil. Let's see if I can get where you can see the harness. I guess you can't see it in the camera, but there's a harness. Yeah, I guess. Let me get my other light if I can reach it. That harness up there, well, yeah, see it right there, there's fluid clear up on that. Okay, every one of these we've had has had, I shouldn't say every one, and that pen light blinds the phone camera, but we've had 2 of these, the same exact issue. Transfer case transmission, something not right. The other thing this car has is there's a recall. I mean, Ford's taking care of this, but 15,000 miles, flex pipes broke, you know, I guess it is what it is. But one thing with this particular car is in 5,000 mile intervals on oil changes, it uses 2 to 2.5 quarts of oil. So I don't know if anybody else out there is having similar issues, but our other car has about 40,000 on it. It's had the front diff seals have been replaced on it once. Transfer case has been out of it for leaks. Both front CV axles have been replaced. Both rear shocks have been replaced. They don't drive very nice in my opinion. They shift really bad. Just very jerky in their shifting. Very undecisive, like they don't know what gear they should be in. Just, I don't know, just wondering if anybody else out there's having the same issues as we are. Throw a little America in here, the old Bald Eagle license plate in there. But you know, just kind of curious. Leave stuff down in the comments. Anybody that's got familiar similar issues, similar stories, kind of things like that. Kind of curious, you know, anybody else out there's having the issues we are. You know, we can't be the only ones. Called forward. I mean, everything's been warrantied. Everything we've had go wrong has been covered under warranty, but I think it's ridiculous with, you know, no older than these cars are, and you know, the low, you know, it's how low the mileage is. I half wonder if the black on the mufflers isn't actually oil. I'm not sure if it's oil or if it's just soot and, you know, condensation. But So yeah, anyways, yeah, if you got anybody out there's got any similar issues, similar stories, you know, whatever, leave stuff down in the comments. Let me know what you got and what you've had issues with, and if Ford stood behind it for you. I mean, like I said, we haven't really had any issues with the dealer at all. They've been great about getting us in, getting us taken care of. Some of it's hard to get parts, but some of it's, you know, like bolts that are non-reusable. They have to order new bolts for the one that we had. Well, car 43, we had the front diff out, and the bolts are one-time use on the front diff. So I don't know for sure which bolts they were, but I mean, just like poor design. I mean, who puts a link down like this? I mean, it's a no lift, so it's not supposed to have weight, but I mean, things hang down on the bottom of the car like 6 inches from the bottom of the car. I mean, if they can't handle weight, why would you hang them down like that? I mean, redesign your setup or whatever. But I mean, the brakes, like feels like a lot of movement in the front end when you hit the brakes. Like if you're barely moving. Oh, and the other thing, I don't know if y'all that have these with the class 3 receiver, you know, factory receiver. It's got this sweet little plug set up on it, you know, like that. Yeah, well, if you haven't realized it, or don't know, or whatever, you look at that fancy plug right there that comes from there and goes to there. It's not plugged into anything. And the story we get from Ford can't fix that problem. Ford cannot make this thing have lights. They cannot make it function properly. They basically throw it in your court and say it's your problem. I talked to my dealer, and it has to have a module. It has to have a module put in that, from what I was told, cannot be put in after the fact. And the wiring, I guess, doesn't exist. Like, it's not in the car, so you can't put it in the car because it didn't have it from the factory. But you know, I've had different people tell me that, well, it's not designed to tow. Well, if that's the case, why on earth? I mean, why on earth would you put a hitch on it? I mean, if it's not intended to tow, which I firmly believe that Ford intended you to be able to tow with them. I mean, I think that would be the case. I mean, this particular hitch on this car shows max tongue weight 670 pounds and 6,700 gross trailer weight. So I'd say, you know, putting that kind of rating on there, I think Ford's kind of looking at, you know, yeah, I think you should be able to tow with it. I mean, that's more than the car weighs. But but yeah, I've already done one of our units. I've put I got a Kurt, I don't remember what the part number was, but a Kurt, got it right here, Kurt custom wiring harness. It is a 56093, and that kit will hook right up to your factory taillight harness, and that gives you the 4-way flat. And you can either run with the 4-way flat or do like I did. And I don't have that car on the hoist. That car is sitting outside currently. But you can do like I did, and let me switch thing. Take and cut that plug off. That blue wire is your trailer light or trailer brake wiring. If I remember right, I've got it wrote down. I think the orange wire was trailer charger. I'd have to look. But you can hook this plug up and make it work. And see if I can get the light and my phone in here. That black plug right there, you can see the orange wire down at the bottom, which I didn't use that. But there is the blue wires in that harness. That's the only wire I cut out of that harness to make the trailer brakes, which I don't have the controller yet. I'm waiting on it to come in, but putting the brake controller in it. You can take and hook that up to that blue wire up to your rear harness here. That wire runs all the way to the front of the car, and there's a 4-pin connector above the brake pedal where you will get your trailer brake controller hookup. And I don't know for sure, but I assume I found a 4-pin factory style harness to go from the brake controller to that plug. Now I haven't gotten it yet, so I don't know for sure that it's going to be a plug and play. I hope it is. That's the whole idea behind getting that particular setup. But we have a small trailer that we have a side-by-side they use to patrol trails and whatnot, and they want to be able to tow it and tow it safely, so that's why we're doing this on these units. But we are very disappointed that they don't at least have the wiring for the lights hooked up. I mean, that was, they supposedly fixed it for the 2023 model, but if you have a 2022, maybe 2022, 2023, don't quote me on that, not 100% sure, but they did fix the issue later. But as far as I know, the 2020s and 2021s, if you have one and you want to tow with it, Ford will tell you, I mean, I'd talk to your dealer, but most likely Ford will tell you you are on your own. So you have to look into that if you are wanting to tow with your Explorer or Police Interceptor utility, whichever you have, you know, whatever, they're the same thing. And actually, for instance, that Kurt kit says it does not fit this car, but it does. Shows 2011 to 2013 Ford Explorer, so it doesn't even list the 2020. It stops at 13. Well, I know for a fact it fits on a 2020 because I've tested it. It works. And the nice thing with the Interceptor utilities are they have underneath the rear, well, it's behind the rear seat, your cargo cover, like where your spare tire is. In front of that, underneath that cover, there is a distribution block that you can grab your 12-volt power, because this Kurt kit is a module that takes, means these have separated turn signals to brake light, or, you know, your brake lights and turn signals are separate. That's why you need the module, because most trailers don't have, you know, that separated, that's using the same light. You'd get a backfeeding issue. But that has to have 12-volt constant. And then as well with your trailer plug, if you want to hook up your battery charger for your trailer, so you have, you know, if you got battery on your trailer for the electric brakes in case of a breakaway situation, I ran that power for this kit and for my trailer charger to that distribution block under the rear floor cover. I don't know if, I highly doubt your civilian Explorers have that. I don't know. I'm not familiar. I'm not a Ford man. I'm a GM guy all the way. These things really frustrate me. I was really impressed with Ford when we first got these. For instance, I can throw that in there. Having a fill and a drain on the transfer or rear diff, that was huge for me. I was like, heck yeah, Ford, you actually got something right. And then same with the transfer case. You can see the drain, the fill's up behind the heat shield. Front diff, the water pump is not externally mounted. We've got a 2014 that is timing chain driven, and a 2018 Ford Taurus that also is internally or timing chain driven. And yeah, I've already done the water pump in the 14, and Ford pays like 14 hours or something like that to do them. And I'll tell you, it takes every bit of 14, especially when it was the first one I'd ever done like this. I was not impressed, to say the least, and I was really stoked when these came out, you know, seeing that they were front mounted. But I will say, if you're in the market buying a new car, do not buy a first generation version of it. Like, this is the first gen. The first year they had this set up with the rear wheel drive, the engine setting in it in a rear wheel drive format, and I mean, it's just a completely new car. And it's, from what I can see, yeah, I'm hoping Ford fixed a lot, because I'm not impressed. I mean, like I said before, I know this is a lot of jibber jabber and running on here, but I felt like I needed to make a video on this. It's been a while since I've posted anything, but I've got some projects at home that I'm getting towards doing, and I'm gonna try to video a little bit of it here and there. But so yeah, like I said, if you got any similar stories, similar things that's happened along the way, or whatever, if you just got a comment of any kind, if you like the video, you know, all that. I'm not looking for a ton of subscribers or anything. I just like to make informal, you know, informational videos that if I can help somebody out, hey, I'm all for it. And if I can entertain you a little bit along the way, awesome. But so, you know, take it for what it is, and we'll catch you later.